Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is Unreal World, and we are here today for the Spirit Quest Resurrected series, continuing with our main character, Athena of the Owl Tribe, and there she is, directly in front of us with her beautiful blonde hair. You can see that we are in the deep forest here. Our exact location is over by the western coast of our major island here, and we are just like I say, west of the Drick culture too. So kind of out here in no man's land. Not truly no man's land on the other side of the map, but that's what I'm going to call it right now. We've got ourselves a little camp down here. Although after considering this location, I don't love it. It's kind of cool because it's on a mountain edge, overlooking the ocean and stuff. But honestly, there's not a lot of good hunting ground around here. There's, like as mentioned, a bunch of deep forests. So I'm thinking about maybe going up north a little bit. If I take off some of this cultural boundary color, you can see this is a lot nicer up here. So, I mean, we can have multiple, shelters set up. In fact, it's a good idea to do that. It gives you a lot more flexibility. And speaking of multiple shelters, I do actually have another shelter. Let's zoom out. It'll be easier to find it. Yeah, it's all the way down here by the southern coast where the little X is. Now, this location actually has some dried meat, which probably has another couple weeks to go before it's ready. But just figured I'd mention that because we're going to have to trek back there at some point and get it. But probably not until it's frozen and we can just walk right over the water. But in the meantime, we're in the deep forest, but there's an elk directly ahead of me. So I'd love to be able to put my brand new hunting bow to a test. I think we'll encounter this elk here. For one thing, it's not a bad kind of forest. If we have to hunt in a forest, this is the kind we want here. It's a pine forest, so it's a bit open, as opposed to the spruce forest, which are very closed and hard to see. But I'm currently in stealth, coming up just behind her. I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to risk taking a step closer. We're just going to take our shot from here. We'll go for a body shot. Oh, I missed her. Where'd my arrow go? I didn't see it. That's the problem with shooting when you're zoomed in like that. It's hard to tell where it goes. Well, heck, it's hard to tell when it's zoomed out, but we do have a very limited amount of arrows. I've got 8 of them left now, so let's move in. Okay, she spotted me. She is sprinting, so let's sprint after. Let's chase her a little bit. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this hunt because, oh, I see my arrow, but it's not a bad idea to go after her, to give it a shot here. So I'm definitely grabbing this. All right, let's see if we can't. Yep, we found her tracks here. We are oh, there she is. So we're up kind of on a mountainside here. There's some hillage. Okay, small elk looks a little bit fatigued. Trying to get her, run her down on like this kind of terrain is difficult. So let's just see if I can keep up with her tracks. There it is. If the forest maintains this type here, but if we switch over to a spruce forest at some point, I lost her tracks here. Okay, south. Where did she change? Oh, she changed direction. Oh, wow. Complete direction change here. Started going southeast now. You got to be keeping an eye on them. Okay. I've still got a good scent here. Or I should say a good visual on her tracks, but I haven't seen her in a while. I really just want to get out there into the open country where we don't have to worry about all these trees. It's just so hard. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with it. It was a good try, and luckily I didn't lose the arrow. So, like I said, let's head up north here a little ways. I do need to watch my temperature gauge here, but it's been a lot better since I was able to make some gloves, so some fur mittens. We were able to take our overcoat off and actually use that to make some mittens. So it would be great if we could get another big kill so we can trade away and preserve some of the meat too. Now, like I mentioned, this area up here is kind of nice. It's pretty flat, so I think what I'm going to do is kind of open it up a little bit more, explore the surroundings. We'll probably have to take a break here and go to bed, but I'm going to set a shelter up somewhere in this location. Oh, now this is interesting. I just located a cave. I was kind of cruising around looking for more open territory, just somewhere that's got an abundance, flat, treeless terrain. That's what I like to call my happy hunting ground, but I haven't located it just yet. But I can tell you that finding a cave like this is pretty important. Now, during the winter months, it's not a big deal because we can dry our food outdoors. But in the summer, if we were without a cabin or near a village, we could use this cave to smoke meat. And here we are at the entrance to the cave. Now, without a fire and a torch, I don't really want to go too deep in here because there could be a bear or animals in here. But I am interested in kind of getting this going. Let's just see. What do I have? I don't have any firewood or kindling, so maybe we can. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna cut down some tree branches and get a little fire started. Okay, well, I've got the fire started as you can see, and I just constructed a torch. So if I hit the action button, we can use the torch in the fire to light that. And now as I move, you can see I push back some of that darkness from the cave. So we just kind of look around. If there were a bear or an animal in here, I'd probably just turn around and run. We're not going to try and kill it without any protection like an animal for ourselves, like a dog. But looks pretty empty. It's a nice sized cave though. Really good. Not a lot of steep terrain. Some of these have well, this one right here does have a little bit of a cliff, you can see. If I try to move here, it asks me if I want to climb this, meaning it's too steep to just walk over. But I'm not risking any climbing at the moment. Nonetheless, interesting little cave. Like I said, we could use this at the future. I don't see any good water sources directly out front, though. That's one thing I always like to have with my cave is easy access to water. And I don't know, maybe if I explored down the hill a little ways, it would work. There might be something there, but I think for now it's probably good enough just to come in here to the mouth of the cave and lay down next to the fire for bed. Let's go to sleep. And I am officially out of food, by the way, so we're going back into starvation mode, unfortunately. Although I have confidence that if we can find some good flat land, we should be okay. Let's see here. Is my torch still burning? Yeah, I think my torch went out. That's fine. Torches are very easy to make. Just takes like a few sticks and not a lot of time. But the good news is that those caves like that are automatically marked on the map with that little white triangle there. So I don't need to worry about marking it specifically. But man, as you can see, there's just not a lot of good land up here. I'm finding tiny little patches like that, but oof, other than that, I think we might have our best option might be come back down here to the Drick culture. It's just, I don't know. I like being close to them so we can do questing and socializing, but I don't like being directly in their territory. I don't think it makes a big difference. I don't enjoy it. I'd rather be kind of isolated out there in the wilderness on our own. Okay, well, I was exploring around, still looking for a place to set up a good camp, but came across an interesting situation here. There's an elk down here, which is what caught my attention, but this stupid fox got right in my way. It's literally like almost in melee range. I'm going to take a shot at the I'm sorry, at the fox, actually, since it's so close to me. Oh, and I still missed it. You got to be kidding me. Well. Again, it's not an ideal spot to be hunting. It's just the forest, and I just happened to run into it, so not a big deal. But even in a situation like that, I think it's a good idea to try and just take a shot, especially when you're so close. But, I got frustrated down here in the south, and I started thinking, what if I go north to the orange guys and try around their area? We could set up a camp there and trade with them, do quests for them, but there's a huge river. Okay, so I can't get to that location. I'm starting to feel pretty hemmed in this whole area, and I can't wait for the winter, like the deep winter when it gets real cold. That way we can just go right over the ice, and I can get out of here, find some better hunting ground. But I don't know. I'm still. We just fell down and fell asleep here. So we're struggling. It's not like our survival is not threatened right now. No worry about that. But it's just no fun trying to find a spot out here in these deep, deep woods. Okay, well, we are back here at our little base camp. This is the one by the ocean, which I said is kind of built on the side of the mountain here. It's a pretty sweet little spot, and I do like this. But it's definitely more of a fishing camp than it is a hunting camp for sure, because you can see there's no good land around here. So I've decided I think we're going to move back. It's always the grass is always greener when you're in a spot, but now that we're here, I don't like it, and I want to head back. So I'm going to grab everything that we brought. Well, most of everything we brought. Bring the saplings, and I'm going to grab my cordage here. It's no big deal. There's nothing here that we, can't do without. And we will come back to this spot probably, like I said, do some serious ocean fishing at some point. Plus, it's also good to have a little spot we can rest that's actually near the drink culture. And all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the long journey back up and around and down all the way back over to this camp. That's my goal right now. So it is going to be a long and arduous trek. Luckily, I don't have to worry so much about the cold, like in terms of like stopping to start a fire like I did on my way here. But I am going to go ahead and rest up in one of these actual villages here. It's so difficult getting a good sleep out in the wilderness when it's constantly raining and snowing and stuff. But here I can just pull up in one of their little buildings and lay down for sleep. Okay, guys. Well, it is midnight. I'm trying to rest here, but we keep waking up because the starvation is really getting to her. It is now bearing down on her physical performance. She is at a negative 34% just as a baseline now, and most of that is due to just her starvation. I am carrying a little bit of weight, but we're about to drop that off because the good news is we are back home. We are super close, and you can see there's a lot more open territory here for sure. A lot more flat land. Now it is way too far from like any trading partners or anything. I got to travel all the way up here, so I think I'm going to set up another camp a little bit closer, but I mean, in the meantime, we have to come back to this one anyway because there's food here. There we go. Oh, thank goodness. Now, first things first, let's see if these are ready. Oh, wow. Look, we got here almost at the perfect time. It'll be ready like by tomorrow and stuff. That is amazing. So, wow, we don't have to worry about starving anymore. I'm going to keep a hold of this stuff. Like I said, since the meat is almost ready, we'll just go ahead and move up north a little ways. I know I'm being extremely picky about where we set up our camp and stuff, but I've stressed this before in previous series, but it's good to, say it again. I believe it's important, and especially in an open world game where there's kind of open ended, you can do whatever you want. It's important to pick a spot you really enjoy. It helps you keep coming back to the game, keep interest and stuff. So that's why I'm always so particular about where we settle. But somewhere up in this region, you can see all the dark territory. That's good treeless terrain. So any of these spots will be good. We just need to go open them up. But for right now, I think probably the best thing to do is to try and make some arrows, believe it or not. I do have some bones. So while we're waiting for that meat to be ready, let's craft up some arrows. They might be poor quality because of our starvation, but I mean, we can at least try, right? So if we come to arrows, we're going to do some fowling arrows. So for these, I remember we need the forked bone arrowheads, okay? This is like the easiest, most primitive arrows. We don't need to do any blacksmithing or have metal. We can just use bone and fur and wood, or yeah, cordage and wood. So we'll start with 4 of them, I guess. And we need a pound of bone. I do have some of that. There we go, 4 elk bones from our first and only kill so far. We've gotten a bird, but that was just a trap. Okay, so we got 4 decent forked arrowheads. That's good. We're going to rest up a little bit here. All right, now I think what I need to do is make the arrow shafts. So let's see here. Arrow shaft, yes. We'll make 4 of them. Arrow shaft blank. I think I can use... yeah, we can use the birch saplings, but I only have 3 of those. So we'll just do this, but we'll do 3. There we go. That's why I picked these birch saplings up. They work well. The other kind of saplings don't, but this one does. Okay, so we got three decent arrow shafts. Let me come out here by the water and take a quick drink so we don't dehydrate, right? Very important. There we go. Now, of course, I don't have anything to eat yet, but let's check. Actually, we might. No, not quite yet. Getting there. All right, no worries. We're going to continue here with our crafting. So now that we've got... Oh, I want... arrows. There we go. Yeah, now that we've got the shafts, we can, I think, do the full fouling arrow. I believe I've got everything I need. So let's do 3 of these. We want 3 arrow shafts and 6 feet of thin cordage. We've got it. There we go. All right, that's excellent. No, I'm not going to interrupt for a bird. Beautiful. Okay, so I'll go ahead and no, I was going to say drop the extra arrowheads, but I'll just hold on to them for now. So we ended up with 2 fouling arrows and 1 rough fouling arrow. So the fouling arrow is like, it's from what I remember reading about it, if I wanted to, we could come into the inventory. I think it has an entry, or maybe I looked it up. Regular arrow. It's basically for smaller game, like shorter distances, smaller game, but it's pretty effective still. I like the fouling arrows. I think they're going to be good to kind of fill out our ammunition, at least until we can get a few more kills and do some more serious trading. Okay, well, we've got our first 100 elk cuts finished. So there it is. That's 10 pounds of food. Beautiful. I'm carrying too much now. We're going to have to rest here. But before we do go to rest, let's eat. Oh, it is so good having food again. Look at this. Nice. So starvation doesn't go right away immediately. We have to kind of work it off here and eat. Remember to eat. Remember to eat. I've said this before too. Sometimes when you're in starvation mode for a long period of time and you finally get food, it's easy to forget to feed your character because you're used to not eating, right? So you've got to remember, if you want to recover from that starvation, to eat regularly. But let's pick all these up. Okay, there's a little bit left here that won't be ready till noon. Oh, those are those bird cuts too. Yeah. Whoopsie. That's okay. We'll just wait. I can stand around here, probably craft up some more arrows or something. So not a big deal. Like I said, I'm not leaving yet. Okay, well now, check this out. We can put our little fouling arrows to use here, I think. I'm going to use that rough one. I've got a squirrel in one of these trees here. I was just out hunting for more saplings, and I came across the squirrel. So let's take a shot. We hit the elbow. I don't think we knocked it down, though. Let me grab my arrow. Where did it go? Oh, it's trying to escape. All right, let me grab my other fouling arrow. There we go. Look at it. It's on the ground now. It left the trees. That's unusual. Oh, did I hit it? Suffering. No, it is crippled, but all right, let's run after it. I'm stuck behind these trees. There's my arrow. Let's grab that. Oh, look at it. Oh, I'm going to get into melee combat with this thing. Hold on. Let's wield our hand axe. What am I better with? Axes or knives? Oh, definitely the knife. Well, I've got the axe already, so let's just 2 hand axe blunt to the legs. Oh, come here, you. I'm still sprinting after this thing, trying to... Oh, we got it. Trying to club it with my axe here. And it is down. All right. So we just got ourselves a little squirrel carcass. Not too shabby. Oh, I don't know why I just left there. Yeah, like I said, I came over here to get more saplings. And these are the ones we use for cordage right here. These green ones. And this kind, the narrow, thin, that one right there, that's what I use for the arrow shafts. So... we're collecting both kinds at the moment, and obviously I'm also collecting squirrel carcasses. Okay, we are back after a little excursion into the woods. The meat is done. Let me wield my arrow here instead of my axe. There we go. I like the fouling arrows. I really do. Let's go ahead and get this squirrel taken care of. Oh, it's hacked. Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't going to be very much here. All right, we got the skin. Let's butcher it. Let me see here. General sacrifice. Yeah, it's just 1 piece. There we go. Now, I just already sacrificed a piece of my one meat here. Yeah, the elk cuts today. That's why it's saying we're unsteady. So I'm just trying to do a little bit too much sacrificing, but I should have saved it. In other words, save that skin or the squirrel meat until tomorrow. No big deal. It's not the end of the world. We'll recover. I'm sure of it. But I think it is a good sign that we're finding so much game up here, even if it is kind of small game. No big deal. I'll take the winter skins here, even if they are kind of crappy quality. What are you going to do? Okay, so that thing's being prepared right there. Luckily, squirrel skins don't take long. So now, since I've got some more saplings, I can do some more crafting, make up some more fowling arrows. All right, guys. Well, we have left the shelter behind. It is down south. I didn't deconstruct it or anything, so we can always go back there and fish along the coast if we want. But I like this area up here. There's a lot of good open terrain, as you can see. So I'm going to try and find a little spot here. I guess and it's pretty close, too. Yeah, it's not too far from our trading partners up there, the yellow culture. They'll be the ones we probably interact with the most, at least until... Oh, here we go. We got a glutton. Ah, this is not... Yeah, we're not at a good place to be hunting, though. I'm hunting for a camp, not an animal at the moment. So let's keep moving. But, yeah, this is as good a spot as any. I was hoping for like a little lake or something, but we can just set up next to a puddle here. So I'm just going to zoom in right here in this pine mire. And it's getting late. Let's go ahead and sleep. Okay, there we go. Looking a little bit better. Nice and light outside. So... Okay, here's a perfect spot. This is what I always like to find, is a tree right next to some water. So you can see there's just a tiny little puddle of it. Go ahead and break that open so we can drink. And there's a tree right next to it. That just helps me. We have a shelter right next to the tree, so we can always stay occupied if we need basically cutting branches down off the tree. You can do that infinite amount of times, basically. So speaking of branches, let's grab some off of the spruce here. We'll need those. And I'll just cut down one of these boys right next to us. There we go. I just need 3 of these, but I'll go ahead and take all 4. Might use some for the fire. Alright, so this is where we want our shelter. Boom, right there. And she's really quick at it. She's good at building shelters. So there we go. And we are set here at this location. I'll drop this. I'm just going to basically drop all the stuff I don't need to be carrying around during a hunt. Okay, I'm even going to drop about 100 cuts of elk too, because I don't really need to be carrying around that much. And of course, dropping every little bit of weight is extremely helpful when you're going out for a hunt. So even though I am pretty low, I've still got some starvation penalty, but that's going to go away. As time goes by, it'll get better and better. So this is our little spot here now. I think this is going to be the final camp for a while until I decide where I want to build like my final base or whatever. But who knows? Plans always change and stuff. But I'm definitely going to add a marker to the map here. So we go and make camp number 3. Very good. And it's taken me a while, but we've almost come full circle to the back where just about where we spawned in. But if we come out now, we're ready for hunting, so we can kind of go over some of this geography. And you'll see that all this terrain, beautiful. If we were to catch an elk or a herd of reindeer out here in the open, it's game over for them, man. They're never going to make it into the trees. Or if they do, well, they'll be lucky to get away from us. Okay, here we go. He's a little close to the tree line over here, but if I can just push him out towards the east, this elk, we got a lot of ground to run with. So, okay, good. It's a big bull elk. Let's always take a quick look at our prey. Okay, like I said, it's a big bull elk. Beautiful. So I'm going to just, from right here, I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at it. Let's see. Body shot, our best chance. Oh, we actually hit it. And that was with a fowling arrow too, by the way. So it's just a minor puncture, but it is walking lame. So that's great news. We're going to sprint towards it, of course. I'm definitely going to make an effort. Yeah, okay, good. To grab my arrow. Beautiful. Now, oof. See the trees? He's running right for them. All right, I'm going to stop sprinting. Just start to crouch and hide a little bit. Dang it. Look at that. Went right into the tree line. Shoot. Well, it's not totally hopeless. He could have come back out at some point. No. Well, like I said, I can stay persistent here. I have patience. Our first elk did this too. It played a lot of games, came in and out, but we returned to the area and finally we got it. So have faith, guys. I'm not giving up on this big bull elk just yet. That would be a heck of a prize if we could get him next. So I think what we'll do is we'll end it right here, just at the beginning of this hunt. And I have, like I said, a lot of hope for this one. So tune in tomorrow, guys, to see how this progresses. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the series so far. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this Unreal World series, if you're enjoying it, if this is your first time tuning in and whatnot. And if it is, by the way, I do have a lot of links to the other playlists down in the description below. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you all on the next one.